Growing up, I was an all-American girl. Varsity soccer captain, cheerleading captain, homecoming queen, and survivor. I was raped by my stepfather after years of sexual abuse. At age 12, I took my first pregnancy test, and it was positive.
Hadley is here. Stand up, Hadley. I can tell you, we are all standing up because we are so impressed by your courage to stand up and share your story. Where did that come from, the strength to do this? Because I'm sure you thought long and hard before deciding to go public with your story.
When Roe v. Wade was overturned,
Thanks, everybody.
I woke up with a harsh reality of my abuse was over, but my story is not. And I just could not fathom thinking about the other Hadleys out there that don't have that choice, that don't have somebody to go to. So being able to find courage and be the light for them, that's really what I do it for.
And so what do you want to say to other people who are voting in this election regarding what happened to you and what that means?
You can't wait until it's too late to care about reproductive health care, because then it's too late. And when it affects you, it hits, and you can't deny it. You can't look at someone with a story like mine and say it didn't happen. And there are more people like me out there, and there are gonna be so many more who deserve their options. They deserve their choices. Let's get involved. We have someone who's willing to hear us at a level like never before. We have someone who wants to know what we want in this country. We have someone who wants to lift up our voice, and we need to show out and show up for her just like she's showing out and showing up for us.
All right. Is there something you wanted to say to Madam Vice President?
Madam Vice President, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for seeing us, for hearing us when the Supreme Court won't. Thank you for fighting and, really showing us that life is not about the hard things that you go through. You don't bow down, even when you're the underdog, especially when you're the underdog. Right. You stand up and you stand tall, and you give me so much hope and so much strength, and thank you.
Thank you, Hadley, for coming all this way. I hope you continue to use your voice. I hope you continue that. This week, the case of a young woman who lost her life after the abortion ban took place in Georgia made national headlines. Amber's case came to light through the reporting of journalist Kavitha Sarana with ProPublica. And so listen to her story.
2 years ago, 28-year-old Amber Nicole Thurman, a medical assistant and a single mother to a 6-year-old boy, found out she was pregnant. Amber had just secured her own apartment and was thinking about going to nursing school. She made the decision to terminate her pregnancy. A strict abortion ban had recently taken place in her home state of Georgia, which caused Amber to travel to North Carolina for the procedure. Traffic made her miss the appointment, so the clinic gave her medication, what are known as abortion pills. Once back home, Amber experienced profuse bleeding, vomiting, severe pain. She eventually passed out. Her boyfriend called for an ambulance. At the Georgia hospital, Amber's condition deteriorated quickly. In a rare occurrence, it was discovered her body had not expelled all the fetal tissue and an infection was spreading. Official Georgia State medical expert analysis of her case says Amber should have received a life-saving D&C, but doctors waited 20 hours before deciding to take her to surgery. Amber's blood pressure had taken a dive. Her organs had started failing. In the operating room, her heart stopped. On the way to surgery, Amber's last words to her mother were, "Promise me you'll take care of my son."
Amber's mother, Shanette, and older sisters, CJ and Andrika, are here, and they wanted to be here tonight to speak out for the first time. Ms. Shanette, what do you want us to know about Amber's story?
Initially, I did not want the public to know my pain. I wanted to go through in silence, but I realized that it was selfish. I want y'all to know Amber was not a statistic. She was loved by a family, a strong family. And we would have done whatever to get my baby, our baby, the help that she needed. When ProPublica came to my home, I pushed them away. No, 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 but Kavithia, she was persistent. She said, it was something that you needed to know. You have to hear me. Women around the world, people around the world need to know that this was preventable. 2 years later, after speaking with my daughters, because I lost strength, I lost hope, you're looking at a mother that is broken. Mm-hmm. The worst pain ever that a mother, that a parent could ever feel. Her father and myself and the family, you're looking at it.
Well, we appreciate so deeply you being here. And we're all watching you hear that tape and those words. We know how re-traumatizing that is and the strength it takes for you to be here to tell your story. And we deeply appreciate it. And I have to ask you, as her sisters, how are you coping? And what does knowing that this could have been prevented, how does that sit with you? How do you cope with that on a daily basis?
I mean, it's heartbreaking. You know, that was my baby sister. I loved my baby sister, you know. I'm beyond hurt, disappointed. I feel guilty. I wish I could have helped her, you know, because she was suffering. Mm-hmm. And we had no idea. We trusted them to take care of her, you know. Mm-hmm. And they just let her die because of some stupid abortion ban. They treated her like she was just another number. Mm-hmm. They didn't care for her as if, you know, she was their daughter or their, you know, granddaughter.
Yeah.
You know, and she's not here. She'll never come back.
Yeah. Andrika, what do you want to say?
I want to say that it's very disheartening that my sister was allowed to suffer for 20 hours. She suffered. It was nothing that we could do to help her. We trusted the healthcare professionals to do their job and save her, but they failed her.
Well, I think the most powerful thing that you've said here, Ms. Shanette, is that your daughter is not a statistic. She had a life. She was loved by her sisters, loved by her family, loved by those who knew her, and she's not just a statistic. And we are happy to speak her name tonight in this room, talking about what this country needs in terms of reproductive rights and freedom. What do you want to say, Madam Vice President?
I'm just so sorry. And the courage that you all have shown is extraordinary, because also you just learned about how it is that she died. And
they just recently learned, yes.
How?
Yeah.
And Amber's mom shared with me that the word over and over again in her mind is preventable.
Yeah.
Preventable. That word keeps coming to her. Mm-hmm. And this story is a story that is sadly not the only story.
of what has been happening since these bans have taken place. And, you know, so just to step back in terms of how we got here, the former president chose 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would overdo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And they did as he intended, and in state after state, including yours, these abortion bans have been passed that criminalize healthcare providers. In a couple of states, prison for life, Oprah. Prison for life in a couple of states for a doctor or a nurse who provides healthcare. And so it seems very apparent
Even
that
when the mother's life is in
But
danger.
see, here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that. So is she on death's door before you actually decide to give her help?
That's the problem.
Is that
That's
what
the
we're
problem.
saying?
Yeah. That you've got to prove you're on death's
Like
door.
literally a doctor or a nurse has to say, she might die any minute, better give her now care. Because otherwise I might go to prison for life in some cases. Think about what we're doing in terms of saying that certain people who are in these state houses, and then starting with the former president of the United States, think they're in a better position than a doctor or a nurse to determine when their patient needs medical care. This literally, and Amber's story highlights the fact that among everything that is wrong with these bans and what has happened in terms of the overturning of Roe v. Wade, it's a healthcare crisis. It's a healthcare crisis that affects the patient and the profession. And going back to Hadley's story, and Hadley, you've been so remarkable in telling your story and being so strong in the way you do it. And both of these stories really, I mean, the courage for it out of pain, for you to tell these stories to help other people is just extraordinary. And Hadley, you've been so remarkable. You know, Oprah, I don't know if you know this, but when I was in high school, I learned that my best friend was being molested by her stepfather.
Yes, we heard that story on the DNC.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
you had the courage then to go to her and say, you've got to come to our house.
And she came to stay with us. I called my mother, she came to stay with us. And the idea that these same legislators who would be saying, you know, criminalize healthcare providers are also saying that after a person's body has been violated, that they have no right to make a decision about what happens to their body next? That's immoral.
Yeah. I think it's not just immoral. But here's what I want to say. I just don't believe that those legislators, that the government has a right to be in your womb. They have no right to be in your womb with decisions about your womb.
And one does not have to abandon their faith.
Right.
Or deeply held beliefs to agree the government should not be telling her what to do.
Absolutely.
Right? If she chooses, she will talk with her priest, her pastor, her rabbi, her imam, but not the government telling her what's in her best interest.
Well, this is a long healing process for this family. And we thank you, and we hope that by being amongst people who heard you and heard your daughter's story will be meaningful to you in this journey to healing. Thank you so much for being here. Okay, I want to also, thank you. I want to hear from Star Walker, who is a campaign engagement organizer in Milwaukee, one of my hometowns, Milwaukee. Hi, Star, what's going on in Wisconsin?
Hi, Oprah. Hi, Madam Vice President. We are fired up here in Wisconsin. I'm an engagement organizer, so I help develop within their personal networks as friends, family, teammates. Yeah, and by empowering people to leverage their relationships, we amplify their voices and deliver progress. We're fired up, but we also know it's a razor-thin race. So just like in 2020, this is going to be won by a field margin. It's on us to roll up our sleeves and do the work. Let's make phone calls and knock on doors. Go to go.kamalaharris.com to join this people-powered movement. That way, when we look back, we won't just be remembering how we felt, we'll be remembering what we did.
Woo! I love that. I love that. Y'all, I love that. That's a big takeaway because we're all feeling really good right now. But what really matters is what are we going to do? Absolutely. What are we going to do? Thank you so much, Star. I see somebody else on the screen, Julia Roberts. Hi, Julia.
Hi. Hi.
I heard you were so excited you wanted to be here tonight. Why?
Well, first of all, Oprah, thank you for hosting this, because I guess if I started a voting club, it would be conversationalists for Kamala.
Yes.
Because to talk, to listen, to be heard, to have this back and forth is so unique in this campaign to beautiful, wonderful Kamala Harris, who I've had the good fortune of knowing for many years. And I am a mother of 2 kids. This is their first chance to vote in an election. And I couldn't be more excited for them to have the legacy to say that their first vote they ever cast for president was for you. I have just chills saying that out loud.
Are you all going to the polls together? Are you organizing a party? Are the Motors having a poll party? What's happening?
I wish we were all going together. In fact, you know, they are in college, so we will be separated on the great day, but in spirit united always for what we believe in and what we, you know, I feel like it's interesting. We talk so much about being Americans united for something, but this has become such a global representation of our country and what we stand for. And I get to travel internationally a lot. And I want people to say, oh, you're American? And not, oh, huh. How's it going over there? You know?
Yes.
So I want to get back to that space.
Exactly.
And
Thank you, Julia. Exactly. Thank you. And hey, there's Tracy Ellis Ross coming up there. Tracy, now listen, if anybody should have a voting party, I think it should be at your house because you have great parties, girl.
I just want to say hi, hello, Madam Vice President. It's just an honor. I actually have never met you, which is crazy. And hi, Oprah. Wait, what did I miss?
We just saw each other the other day. Okay. Oh, hi, Tracy. Hi.
Hi, Oprah. How you doing?
Hi, good. Yeah. This is exciting, though, isn't it? Isn't it exciting?
It's exciting. It's exciting because I believe in democracy. I believe in the future of our country, in reproductive freedom, bodily autonomy, women leading. I believe in decency. The idea of leading with joy and kindness has always been in my DNA. And I'm here both for the seriousness of this election, but the joy with which it is being handled. It is stunning. And then I also really want to remind everybody, it hasn't been mentioned, but voting up and down the ballot is incredibly important. Your freedom and your daily life are all the way up and down that ballot. People are policies, and we need the right people in all areas, all positions. And then I would like to say to you 2 women, thank you for what you represent, because as a 52-year-old childless woman, I want to say to the people who think that a woman's worth is measured in her baby count, I mean, shout out to all the amazing mothers, but the childless women have been mothering the world and elevating culture as aunties, godmothers, teachers, mentors, sisters, and friends, and the list goes on. And you do not need to push out a baby to help push humanity forward.
Amen to that. Thank you so much, Tracy Ellis Ross. Thank you so much. So another important issue this election is, of course, our safety. And just 2 weeks ago, our country experienced yet another horrific school shooting. Watch this.
It's 10:30 a.m. at Robb Elementary in Uvalde. The school is recognizing my 10-year-old daughter, Lexi, for receiving all A's. 30 minutes later, a gunman murders her, 18 classmates and 2 teachers.
In the last 25 years, there have been 417 school shootings in the United States, and more than 383,000 students have experienced gun violence while at school.
More children and adolescents are killed by guns each year than anything else nationwide.
Just 2 weeks ago, Appalachia High School in Winder, Georgia, became the latest area to face every parent's worst nightmare.
Tonight, breaking news as we come on the air, the deadly high school shooting. 2 students and 2 teachers killed. Police and parents racing to the scene outside Atlanta.
Oh my goodness. There is a shooting at my granddaughter's school.
We had to drag our teacher's body into the classroom. We heard him take his last breath.
Oh no. I don't know how I act if that happened to my son.
We live in a country
They might well go in.
where 383,000 children have been exposed to gun violence. Now just sit with that number for a second. It's a number until it's your child. This is not normal, y'all.
Yep.
This is not normal, and this is not right. Other people in other countries do not have this issue. We, Americans, we have to do better. We have to do better. We cannot continue to just settle for our thoughts and prayers. Lives are being destroyed. 15-year-old Natalie Griffith and her parents, Doug and Marilda, are here. And Natalie, we are so sorry to know that you too have been added to that number because you were in algebra class when you were shot twice.
Damn.
By a 14-year-old fellow student. We're so glad that you lived to tell your story.
Damn.
And so how are you tonight?
Well, before that thing, the video, I was very happy. I still am very happy to be here and to tell my story and what happened, because it was a terrible thing, and it should not have. What's it called?
Where were you shot? Where were you
I was
physically shot?
Right here on my shoulder, and then around here. Right.
Wrist.
I was saying
my
that
wrist.
383,000 students in our country, the United States of America, have been exposed to violence. That same scene that you experienced in your school. Had you all been having, drills or preparation for what should happen? Should there be a shooting?
I've had intruder drills and fire drills and stuff. In my old schools, we've had a fire drill at Appalachia, but it was the first 2 months of the school year. We hadn't had an intruder drill yet, so we weren't even completely sure where to go in the classroom. We all I remember being huddled.
So I was watching your mother, even just when that tape was coming on. It's still very much PTSD, very much traumatic. You're still reliving it. And how has it been for you? How were you notified that there was a shooting at the school?
I was notified by a friend. She called me. I was at work. And she called me and she said, "Do you know about the shooting?" With the school that she goes to, the Appalachia. I said, "No, I don't." And then she said that there was a shooting at the Appalachia High School. My heart just dropped and my heart just got so heavy and I could not stop. I had to leave. I told my coworkers I gotta go, I have to leave. And the first thing I did is drop my knee on the floor and just start praying. I prayed for about 30 minutes from my work all the way to I didn't get to the school on my car. I had to leave my car at a gas station about maybe 2.5, 3 miles. And I walked on foot and I ran because my heart was so heavy. I couldn't get to touch with my daughter.
And I hear you have a message for people in power regarding guns now.
I do. I want to finish that story because no parent should go through this. I want to just finish what,
Yes,
the experience. You do not know what feels until it's you.
Yes.
You know, all those numbers that you show on the TV, you know, a lot of people, they're here mothers. You know, what are we doing about this? What are we doing? Let's make sure that everybody listens. Let's make sure that everybody hears it. The whole world needs to hear that we women that have our children, we have a job. That job is to protect our children. That job is to protect our nation. That job is to protect our country. We cannot leave. We cannot let that go on. We have to stop it. You know, where I was asking earlier, where are those people? All the other shooting, where are they? They needed to make a noise. I'm ready to make a noise about this, and I'm ready to stop it because no one knows what feels when you can't find your child, when you call her, just not answering. When I went through it, you know, it's just me that knows it. And I'm sure, I'm so sorry for those that lost, the child that actually died. I can actually hug my child. My child is here, and I gave all this praise to the Lord. Our Father in heaven saved my child. You know, but the other two mothers, they lost their kids, and the other teachers that died, you know, those people are suffering like I'm suffering. I'm very sorry for them. I'm very sorry that they lost their loved ones.
And you have a message for the people in power.
Yes, the people in power, let's make it a change. Let's make it happen. Let's make, you know, let's just not hear about this. Who wants to just hear about this? We gotta change it. We gotta make it happen, you know?
And Doug, I hear you're not a registered Democrat, but you now say it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on when it comes to this issue. What change do you want to see now that it has affected your family?
You know, common sense, you know, I think the first step would just be metal detectors in schools. You know, make a budget, make a plan. And the people that say, well, we've never really done stuff like that before, I don't care. You know, they didn't have metal detectors at airports at one time. You know, they didn't have metal detectors at courthouses. They, you know, I think that if a child knew that he would get caught, the likelihood of him trying would be, there may be another target, but it wouldn't be us having to worry about schools being hardened. Or, you know.
Yeah. I mean, I think that Doug has said it so eloquently, which is we just need to apply common sense. And look, I think for far too long on the issue of gun violence, some people have been pushing a really false choice to suggest you're either in favor of the Second Amendment or you want to take everyone's guns away. I'm in favor of the Second Amendment, and I'm in favor of assault weapons bans, universal background checks, red flag laws. And these are just common sense. These are just common sense.
I thought it was so powerful at the convention when you said you have guns. No, at the debate. At the debate,
I'm a gun owner. Tim Walz is a gun.
I did not know that.
If somebody breaks in my house, they're getting shot.
Yes, I hear that. I hear that.
Probably should not have said that.
But
my staff will deal with that later.
Yeah. But you have been a gun owner for a while.
Yes, I have.
Yes.
But here's my point, Oprah, is that I'm not trying to take everyone's guns away. I believe in the Second Amendment, but we have to agree that, look, I did last fall a college tour with college-age young people, so I also did trade schools, and packed audience every time in their auditorium, and I would ask, please raise your hand if at any point between kindergarten and 12th grade, you had to endure an active shooter drill. Almost every hand went up. It was bone chilling.
Yeah, this is the way our kids are living.
Chilling.
Yeah.
And think about it. you know, I grew up, we had fire drills only. Well, I grew up in California, we also had earthquake drills. But the fact that our children are sitting in a classroom where they should be fulfilling their God-given potential and exploring the wonders of the world, and some part of their brain realizes somebody could bust through that classroom door with a weapon, with an assault weapon. And let's all agree that the trauma, so many children, even those who have not directly experienced the tragedy.
Just being in the environment, being in the
I
environment.
cannot tell you the number of young people who, I mean, our kids had active shooter drills. They're concerned that there might be somebody who would kill them while they are at school. This is not the sign of a civil society, and it doesn't have to be this way. It does not have to be this way. But we need to have the courage to act. I mean, look, my opponent, when he was told and knew about a shooting of a young girl, you know what he said? Get over it. Get over it. No, we're not getting over it. No, and to the point, everyone should have a sense of collective responsibility for the children of our community.
Yes.
And understand their right to live and be safe. I have personally prosecuted homicide cases. I know, I've seen autopsies. I've seen what these weapons do to the human body. And we've got to agree that, in particular when we're talking about something like an assault weapon, it's literally designed to be a tool of war. It has no place on the streets of a civil society. It's designed to kill a lot of human beings quickly. And there are things we can do. I mean, thankfully, over the last 3 years, we've done some, but it is common sense.
It just seems like common sense we would see this. We would see this.
I think
and
so.
I think that the majority of Americans agree with you that we do not want assault weapons in the hands of children and other people who have no business with those types of weapons.
Right.
We know this is true. So we thank you, Natalie, and your family for being here. And good luck in that marching band this year. I hear you're going to go out for the marching band still.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, it's a sad moment for us, but I wanted to make sure that, you know, we came because we needed to be heard. And we needed to, you know, change has to be made, and we're ready to fight for this.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, we want to hear what's going on in another battleground state. Tracy is a regional organizing director in Nevada. Tracy, tell us how things are going for you. Hi.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tracy Lee, a regional organizing.
Man, I'm gonna tell you some real shit. Oprah is a fucking genius, bro. Oprah, I'm gonna tell you, Oprah's the shit. Like the head is like right now, she got it where any famous person on earth can call her right now and come up on the screen, bro. And she's literally tapping into serious issues that can't nobody sit here and listen to this shit and don't feel some type of way and shit. So that goes down to her. She know this business, bro.
And let's get to work.
Let's get to work. Let's do something. Meryl Streep, hello. You and I. Hi, Meryl Streep. You and I have talked about this moment.
Hi.
How are you feeling? How are you feeling about the momentum?
Oh man, this has been overwhelming to have the privilege to sit in and listen to the testimony of the people here. Hello, President Harris.
Not yet. 47 days.
47 days, yes.
From my mouth to God's ear. And hello, Oprah. I think the word of the day has been preventable. Preventable. All of this, the surround of hatred and and venom and toxicity and encouraging some segment of Americans to hate other segment of Americans. It's just crazy, and nobody wants it. We're done.
That's
We're
right.
done with it. I wanted to ask you, I can't believe I have this opportunity. I probably never will again. If I have a little Debbie Downer moment, because actually, I think you're going to win. I'm sure you're going to win. I think, yeah. But what happens when you win and he doesn't accept it? And you know that there's going to be this long slog of shenanigans. And I'm wondering how we get to that moment, how we preserve certification on January 6th. Because if it doesn't happen, it'll be maybe thrown back to the legislatures of the states. And I've been working with state government citizens campaign, which is sgcamerica.com. So they're great. They're doing the unglamorous down ballot work of promoting those candidates, because I'm worried about it, and I wonder if we're ready for January 7th, 8th, 9th, and what happens? What happens?
So we will be ready, but just taking a step back, and thank you, Marilyn, for the gift that you give, your talent, your creativity. Thank you for being here. One of the things that I have realized in the course of our campaign is that more Americans than we may realize who voted for Trump before have decided January 6th was just a bridge too far. When we reflect and think about what January 6th was, where the President of the United States, sitting in the Oval Office, incited a mob, a violent mob, to attack the United States Capitol, such that 140 law enforcement officers were injured, some were killed. To try and upend a free and fair election where the American people voted, that was a bridge too far for a lot of people. And we have sadly now seen how far he could go. And I think there is absolutely no tolerance whatsoever for the vast majority of Americans for that. And they've seen the lies. They understand, for example, almost every court case, I think every court case where he's challenged an election, he lost. I said on the debate stage, look, because he's having a very difficult time, obviously, processing the fact that 81 million people fired him, right? But, so there is that it really was a bridge too far for so many people that they are not willing to repeat. But the other piece of it is the lawyers are working. It's very important that we all speak to our friends and our neighbors about misinformation and help them now see how it occurs, where it is occurring. It is important that we stand up for the integrity of poll workers and people who are working on election day. And that we also, and this is critically important, that we ask people to be alert about mis and disinformation, and we ask them, do not be afraid to vote. Because I think there is also something quite insidious about these attacks on the electorate in these various forms that are intended to convince people that their vote won't matter. And in that way, there's a little bit of reverse psychology going on here, and let's just make sure nobody falls for it. Your vote does matter, and we cannot let anyone ever take our power from us. We can never let anybody silence us. And when we get those votes out, starting soon. Early voting is already going to start this week, I think, through November 5th. And let's make sure everyone votes. And we are going to have a good election day. We're going to fight for the integrity of the people's voice and for our democracy. And, you know, I'll just mention earlier, a couple of folks talked about what this means in terms of the world. You know, as vice president, I've met over 150 world leaders, presidents, prime ministers, chancellors, and kings. And the thing about representing the United States of America is when we walk in those rooms around the world, we have historically and traditionally been able to walk in those rooms, chin up, shoulders back, with the self-appointed and earned authority to talk about the importance of democracies. People around the world are watching right now. Because you see, the thing about walking into a room and being a role model is people watch what you do to see if it lines up with what you say. And in that way, the consequences of this election are directly going to impact the American people and people around the world. That's what we're fighting for, and those are the stakes. And that's why we're going to win, because we know what we're fighting for, because we know what we stand for.
Thank you, Meryl. So, thank you, Meryl. What is on your heart to say to the American people as we have 47 days until November 5th? What's on your heart? To say to particularly those people who are still undecided, or maybe indifferent, or on the fence still?
We love our country. I love our country. I know we all do. That's why everybody's here right now. We love our country. We take pride in the privilege of being American. And this is a moment where we can and must come together as Americans, understanding we have so much more in common than what separates us. Let's come together with the character that we are so proud of about who we are, which is we are an optimistic people. We are an optimistic people. Americans, by character, are people who have dreams and ambitions and aspirations. We believe in what is possible. We believe in what can be. And we believe in fighting for that. That's how we came into being. Because the people before us understood that one of the greatest expressions for the love of our country, one of the greatest expressions of patriotism, is to fight for the ideals of who we are, which includes freedom to make decisions about your own body, freedom to be safe from gun violence, freedom to have access to the ballot box, freedom to be who you are and just be, to love who you love openly and with pride, freedom to just be. And that's who we are. We believe in all that. And so this is a moment where we stand knowing what we are fighting for. We're not fighting against. It's what we're fighting for.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Vice President. Thank you. And I want to say, thank you, Madam Vice President. I also want to say, thank you, Joe Taker. Thank you, Joe Taker, who started the gatherings on Zoom and all of the grassroots. Now, each of you listening tonight, you become your own grassroots organization to go forward and do something, coming together for the largest Zoom call we've all ever had. Thank you so much. And I just want to say, for all of you watching who are still on the fence, you're in the middle, you're independent as I am, or whether you're just still don't know what you're gonna do. This is the moment for all decent people, all caring people, who want the best for yourself and you want the best for other people. This is the moment for people who are tired of all of the bickering and all of the name calling, people who are exhausted by the craziness and the made up stories and the conspiracies. This is the moment. You want to get on with your life because you know that we can do better and that we deserve better. You know this. I know you know this. I know you feel this. I know this is what you're saying amongst yourselves. It's in all the conversations that we're having, that you're having. And we're better than this. We're better. We're better. And we want to create a world where our children will be safe in school again. And as my friend and mentor Maya Angelou always said, when you know better, you got to do better. Thank you. So let's do better and vote for Kamala Harris. Thank you to all of our special guests. Thank you for sharing your stories, for being here, Ms. Shanat. Vice President Harris, we thank you. We hope you keep fighting for us and the country we deserve to have. Thank you so much. Thank you. To find out more about how you can register or where you can vote, go to iwillvote.com. Good night, everybody. Thank you on Zoom. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Won't let my freedom rot in hell. Hey.
And keep it on.
Don't quit on themselves.
Oh, fuck. Crazy, crazy, crazy. I love when they play that music. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's a lot here, right? It's an open town hall. Now, we know that Oprah, first of all, I want to talk about Oprah for a minute. Oprah herself, bruh, is so smart in this media atmosphere, bruh, that it's two things I ain't really like, but overall, she knows what buttons to push for white America, bruh. White women, right? This whole joint, I don't know how many people tuned into that shit, but the whole joint was centered around situations that would fuck around, have your ass crying, right? When a girl tell a story about when she 12 years old, she took a pregnancy test. And it was positive because her uncle was fucking her. That's just crazy. You know what I'm saying? So when they start telling these stories, bro, then we had a little girl in the joint, she in school, and they come in the joint shoot. It's just like Oprah know how to do the thing that, you know, she just know what she doing with this media shit, bro. And it's just not her being a black woman, right? It's more than that. It's just, even for a man, right? There's no man that's smarter than Oprah when it comes to this motherfucking media. You know what I'm saying? She just, Oprah, I don't know, man. There's something about Oprah, man. She just so smart. You know, she real smart.
It's more that she's independent. She don't rely on a Republican or a Democrat. You know, she relates to she relates to that base, that independent base that don't fall that that's a toss up at any given moment, and she could pull independents from the Republicans and like that. So she got that power, doing it for so many years. It's like second nature.
So what you think about the whole thing? You watch it?
Oh yeah, that's why I didn't get on earlier.
So what do you think about the whole? I missed the first beginning.
It was actually great. You know, they wanted her to sit down and talk to people. This is what they get. They get her to sit down and talk to the whole fucking world on Zoom, like and guess what? On Twitter, like
I was gonna say that it's like Oprah has so many people logged into that Zoom, it was crazy.
210,000 people.
Damn.
That's not including the Zoom people that was there on Zoom.
That's
That's not
crazy.
including the people that was in the audience.
That's crazy. I don't even think no ever Zoom had to be no 200. I don't think nobody ever did that, did they?
I was saying that's the people who no, the people who I watched it on Twitter.
210,000?
Yeah, and so on basically on Twitter and X, it was 210,000 who watched it off of
I
Twitter
got
and
you.
X.
I know what you're saying. I got you. I
Yeah.
got you. All right. All right. Overall, though, right? The only thing I didn't like about it was Oprah showed her hand a lot, right? Where she could have did it all without, like at the end saying, "Vote for Kamala." You know what I'm saying? It's like, we want to get past the lies. We know she talking about Trump, and then you know what I'm saying? I don't think she should have went that route because it was already there. You got her here. You got the, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to go into that part. So that's the only part.
I
I
think
ain't,
more she was just saying that we're not going back. That's the phrase. That's more of
I'm saying, but Oprah herself, as moderating this whole thing, she ain't had to do that. You know what I'm saying? The point is made by her having her here. She ain't had to go into, you know what I'm saying, the Trump lying and all that shit.
But that's the thing she wanted to do at the very end for herself. That was what she was offering. Like, hey, just remember, y'all, this is what we went through. This is what's going to continue to happen for this man in office. Lies, BS, all this
Then she
unnecessary
even
stuff.
said, "Go to somewhere and vote for her."
Yeah,
Like
I
that,
will vote.
you can't get
Yeah,
no more
I,
explicit than that. God damn,
I will
you
vote.
saying you're
.com.
independent, but you telling us to vote for her. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
That
I
don't
mean,
even.
she's like she's like she was with Biden. She's that she's older now, so she can't really do a lot. Her voice and presence, and she does like little talks like this, little town halls like this for her, and things like that. Especially, she's in Chicago.
So how you think
She's
she,
talking.
how you think Young answer the questions on this joint?
I think she's doing great. Even when she said, "Motherfucker, walk in my house, you get shot." I didn't think that. I ain't see nothing wrong with that. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
She could have went the route of, yeah, we love going target practicing or going hunting or some shit. To
But she
say,
made
motherfucker breaking my house, yeah.
she from D. She got that DC blood in her. That's that DC right there. So you can't knock her for that. In the DC and California, think about the two cities she's from, and where
I don't
she's been
know.
at.
There's not really nothing you can take away from that. It's like that what anybody would say, really.
Hey, basically.
Yeah.
I
But
didn't see nothing wrong
the fact that she had said running for president, that's what would be the problem because you don't have to have one. You got security and all that stuff. So
but it doesn't matter. But
in
before
the
she
morning when you wake up, you're gonna hear Republicans saying she got security, she got you know what I'm saying, Secret Service and all that shit. Why would she shoot somebody? Watch. Republicans do that shit.
yeah, but the thing is, like, before she became president, she had guns. Before she was vice president, she had own guns. She was before she was she was a regular citizen. She was a lawyer. She had a
And
gun.
she can also say I was directly talking about my time before all of this. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
the people that came up, what about Julie Roberts? That's why I said this is huge. The people that came up themselves was the
yeah,
biggest.
because all those people that came up just about are independent. And so there's a few Democrats like Julie Roberts is independent. Merle Street or whatever. All
Marshall came
them,
up, yeah.
yeah, all them are independent women. You get all them old independent women out. Within their 70s, they're talking to the 70-year-olds, the 60-year-olds.
What was the girl name that came on that joint? Was talking to the vice president was like, oh yeah, oh hi Oprah, and then started
Oh
talking to
yeah, yeah, yeah. I know you're talking about. Yeah, I know you're talking about. I can't remember her name.
that shit
Yeah.
was funny as
I
shit.
just seen you the other day.
I think she's in the black. What she's a Black is Black show, something black.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't remember her name. It was funny as all the what. Yeah, I
I
like
think
that.
she's the wife or something. Man, I
You
can't
see,
remember.
and then it wasn't like him and Elon Musk. They just had dialect. You know, they just had conversations. Yeah, they had 1 million people listening, but she actually sit down and talk to people, talk to the audience, communicate with the audience in a peaceful manner, in a respectful manner, and not even calling no names and you know things like that. Just had a civil conversation with people that's been through some stuff, or
But
people that actually justice.
the thing about this right here is something I wanted her to do anyway, right? Was have a town hall like this on her own terms. Like when Hillary was running, she had this town hall on motherfucking the channel that sells stuff, Hallmark.
Hallmark.
I don't know if y'all remember that. It was like a
Nah.
2-hour joint where she sat down and talked, right? She paid for the time on Hallmark. And in my mind, I was thinking, Shorty should do something like that. But Oprah already jumped up and said, "You gonna do something even more better than
Better. I'm
that."
telling you, man, she had so many people on the Zoom. It was ridiculous. Zoom was the ridiculous part. It was so mind you, every group, every they combine every single group. So it's like you got the white men for Harris, the black men for Harris,
Yeah, Chris Rock came up there. Yeah,
Chris Rock was up there. Yeah, yeah. All the people that was, all the groups that she had Zoom calls with, they did one massive Zoom call and aired it on X.
crazy. And I think when you listen to her talk, right? It's just her saying, it's just I just really think this is about to be so stupid. But we don't know how many of those people that love Trump are out there and gonna go vote. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't he got voters that don't vote a lot, you know what I'm saying, unless it's him. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
And you don't really know how many there be. Like just how you got that 77 that time. You don't know, like, god damn, that mean y'all rock red neck crackers out there pulling them out. You know what I'm saying? They somewhere out here. And he can pull them out. And some of the people that faking like they ain't with him and shit. Those crackers. So it's levels to the racism. You know what I'm saying, dog? But I just think the way she run the campaign
Her
is
campaign.
almost flawless. Like she haven't made no mistake in this campaign. Yeah, like everything they saying about her don't work, and it is
But
almost
basically, I'm gonna tell you what's going on. Her campaign. Everything that Trump said, they be following every single thing he does. Then they go back on X and make a statement. Oh, and studying and development, da 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 da. They do this like constantly. Whatever JD Vance and him say, constantly. They keep doing it over and over again
it's
on X.
yeah. I think this is about to be a complete wave because it's like you think about it. It started off with Meg Thee Stallion, right? Then you get Beyonce and her husband, even using her song, right? Then you get motherfucking what's the girl? Taylor. Then the following week, Oprah fucking Winfrey. So it's like
Oprah was already there. She was there at the campaign.
I know, but now that she did this, more people know she's involved. So that means that be Beyonce, Oprah, Taylor, and motherfucking Meg Thee Stallion. It's like it's not enough. It's not women left. It's like that covers all women.
But I don't know if you noticed, Ted Cruz is losing to Martinez in Texas.
And we need to get our votes out. Make sure y'all vote in Maryland. We need also Brooks to beat motherfucking that fool because he ain't nothing but a Project 2025 vote. Get him out of here. He trying to muddy the waters, make himself sound like a Democrat. Don't get fooled by that bullshit. He's a Republican. Period. I keep forgetting his name. Logan, not the wrestler. Hey.
Well, also Brooks, we want her in office, but I'm gonna say that Larry Hogan was a great governor because he's the governor of Maryland. You know, he was a great governor.
I mean, he running against Shorty.
Yeah, he goes running for Senate. Now I want also Brooks to stay in the Senate because we need them Senate seats.
That's what I'm saying. Republican. So if he was to be in there, he no, he might vote with this Project 2025. You don't know once you get in the Senate. You know what I'm saying? Governors. So if we had also Brooks in there, we ain't have to worry about that. That's council. We ain't got to worry about Maryland. flipping it like Virginia, West Virginia, main man mansion used to do. We ain't got time for that. Everybody in that joint that's voting for all the shit Kamala needs ASAP. You ain't got nobody in there that's an asshole. Hey, appreciate everybody, man. I'm telling y'all, man, check her out. You know what I'm saying? She campaigned like a motherfucker. The vice president campaigned like shit. His wife, her husband, they out there, bro. So I'm not gonna bullshit. They grind. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't like she might be president by accident, man. She working like a motherfucker.
I'm telling you, and she got a strong. I think Texas is going to flip blue. People sleeping on Texas.
Man, you tripping
I'm
that?
telling you, if Ted Cruz lose this election, because Martinez has taken the lead this week over.
Wait a minute, you was in Seattle in Texas, right?
Yeah.
All right, I get that. Because you got the feel for what down there, how to feel down there. I got you.
Yeah. So if Martinez if Martinez wins over Ted Cruz, Texas is going to turn blue.
Now,
I've been telling y'all that from the very start.
That can happen without Kamala winning that state, though. You see what I'm saying?
True. She's gonna win the election anyway, but she's gonna flip. She's gonna flip Texas. I'm telling y'all.
Are you talking about senators and governors? And
the president? Yeah, everything is going to. Texas is going to be blue. I'm telling y'all.
Texas about to vote for a Democrat?
Texas is going to be blue. I'm telling y'all. Y'all
Now,
gonna sleep on it.
Where's Bush? And if he come out somewhere along in this from Texas,
see, Bush is staying away from politics. When he left office, he knew that his presidency was not for the birds.
True.
He stayed out of politics.
In Texas, his family's or something in Texas.
It don't matter. He don't get in no politics. He don't talk about. He don't go up there with Ted Cruz. He don't like Trump anyway. His family don't like Trump, but they just not going to.
Cheney them too last week. Damn.
Huh?
Dick Cheney and his daughter last week.
Yeah.
It's like an avalanche.
They don't like Trump at all. They can't stand Trump at all.
There's so many people endorsing her right now. It's over
the thing is, he's not going to support Trump, but he's not going to support Democrats because guess what? He owns oil. His family came rich off oil. They have oil reserves. That's why. So basically, so they have to play that. He can't play. He don't want Trump. He can't stand Trump. But if it was a Republican, he'll speak out for the Republican. He'll been at at Republican conventions and he'll be done all that. But it's not the same Republican Party that he was a part of.
True.
But he can't play. He ain't gonna play that side and say I'm gonna vote for him because of my position here at work.
You gotta think. You got Megan Stallion, and if you get Bush, that's Texas. You can get Texas with those two people.
You don't need it.
You know.
She has every single black sorority out.
Oh yeah, that's the sleeper there. That's the sleeper that white people don't know about. That all these black sororities around the country is going to be a problem.
I'm thinking Texas is not going to turn blue. Texas is going to turn blue. Iowa is going to turn blue. Because
now, Iowa, I can give you that. That can happen with this abortion.
Yeah, reproductive rights. I'm telling you.
Yep.
Kansas is going to turn back blue because Obama turned Kansas blue.
Now, I'm going to tell you another thing. This town hall touched a lot of those topics.
Yep.
Huge. That's why I say Oprah is smart as fuck.
Yeah. I'm telling you. These little towns like that, Kansas, they're going to turn blue when Obama was in. They turn back red his second term.
Because think about it. The abortion thing is a problem in these southern states. And Oprah made sure that was front and center on this whole time. And then gun violence, when people running people's schools and shit. Even though Oprah and Kamala know it's more than that, because we as black people got more gun violence in our community than that.
No, that was just school violence. That wasn't.
That's my point. Yeah. So those two knew that it's more than just that violence, but that violence was good enough to hone in on people running people's schools. That would make people sit there like, damn, and we can stop it. See how at the end she kept making none of this have to happen. You can stop it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's like after school, who said this? I think the last person said this whole thing is just about prevention.
Yeah,
everything has been prevented.
Meryl Streep.
Yeah, Murder Street. I think one of her or Julia Roberts. One of them two said that. But it was like, and that was it. Julia Roberts, independent, another independent. So
Mm-hmm.
these people saying this stuff. I mean, this whole form is just about preventing. No, you could prevent that. You could prevent that. She could be still alive. You would have just gave her that health care she needed, but she couldn't do it because you had to wait 20 hours to figure out whether you could do it or not before or whether you don't go to jail, lose your license or whatever. She could be still alive. Preventive.
And then the
No,
mayor that had her life threatened, they was trying to kill her. She came on there,
yep.
Gretchen. So
They're from Detroit.
exactly. So she pinpointed a lot of shit that goes straight to white women, suburban women. You feel me? Like that's the
Yep.
type of shit they're not feeling. Like people going in schools, shooting schools up. They're not feeling
Because
that.
those are schools that don't. Like the guy said, if
Oh
you
yeah, I'm
put
gonna get to that. Yeah.
he said he put metal detectors in the schools in the school episode. They never done that before. I went through a metal detector every
Hold
day.
up. Yeah, 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 yeah. I had that wrote down right here too. And as soon as he said, I'm like, huh? I'm like, I noticed something that's not normal. Nobody never done this before. I'm like, what?
I
Black
know
country walk through motherfucking metal detectors all the time in the community, bro. What are you talking about?
junior high school and all through high school. You had to go through a metal detector.
It's done. They know how to do it. What you talking about, bro?
You gotta have clear book bags. You gotta have
And
clear book bags.
do you agree with that or not? Every school should have metal detectors.
At this moment in time, yeah, I believe so. Because right now, that's a deterrent. Right now, we need all deterrents, and right now, that's a deterrent. I mean, I went through it. Like I can't say
It's
it was.
like what are y'all talking about? And then you gotta understand white culture don't never had no metal detectors in those schools. You feel me? That's
Exactly.
odd to them. But we did. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it ain't nothing that's just new to people. They can do that shit. But I agree. What's the harm of that? You know what I'm saying? Just why not have it? Just have the medical detectors. Or and those laws that she was talking about, man. If those guns are banned, that's one problem taken off the table, right?
Right there.
And
Period.
then with those guns, you feel me? Or a kid having it. Because a grown up wouldn't buy it and put it in the house if it's illegal. You feel
Exactly.
me? Or buy it for his fucking birthday if it's illegal.
14, but the way 14, yeah, I understand down there they want to hunt and stuff like that. But
What the hell you going? You can't eat nothing after shooting with this shit, bro. With an AK-47, what you eating? There's nothing left.
yeah, basically, so I understand why you buying at a 14. You buy a hunting gun.
Exactly. And that's the point she was making is like, I got a gun, but it's certain guns, why would they be on the street? It's unnecessary.
And basically, that's what everybody was talking about. Tim Walsh talking about something. Yeah, he misspoke, whatever. But all his main
But
point
his overall
was
point,
those
yeah.
was those guns are not made for the streets. They're made for
Yeah.
the war.
Why would I
I,
have
I
it?
carried it in the. I didn't carry AK-47, but I carried the M16,
Exactly.
a multi-assault rifle. Like,
Exactly.
come on.
Why would they be here? What's the reason for it to be in the street? It's no reason. So for when
I don't.
people be like, let's ban those, what's the pushback for that? Why not? You know?
Exactly. I shot off a saw, a 50 cal. I mean, I don't shot off a lot of things in the military, but those same weapons that's in the military are on the streets.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's the
Why you
part.
shoot, why why you shoot a 50 cal on the street? You got to hook up with your car. You shoot the 50 cal in the street. I don't understand it.
That's the part of the common sense part of just do some of that. Like when people go to the joint with mental state fucked up and they just go buy a gun, the person selling it should be able to look them up and see if he crazy as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
I just
saying? Certain things.
I think the world should get, which I think the world should get right now 2 mental health days a month, where you don't go to work, you don't do nothing, you just do something, activity of your own, or be a part of something. Because after the pandemic, everybody's still going through this PTSD. Everybody's still going through a heavier mental health, you know, depression. All this is pounded and pounded on, and then here we are fighting the crisis of high prices. Then we fighting off who we going to put in the fucking White House. This is myth, and they're still trying to survive every day. Make sure your kids come home. Make sure your kids eat, and make sure everything's fine every single day. Like that's a power of the stress that is taking its toll on everybody. And I think I think for a while, everybody should get 2 mental health days a month with no everything shut down, no work, no nothing. Yeah, it's gonna cause a crisis, but I think mentally, in reality, people need to do that. We need that, or at least one mental health day.
That'd be motherfucker. White boys will never do that. But look at each and every Tuesday and Fridays we be here live. You know what I'm saying, dog? Once in a while you'll catch the Godfather on this joint. You know what I'm saying? We talk about these politics, go into deep detail dives for sure. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you see, that's what I'm talking about, Jasmine Crockett. This is why I say Texas is going to turn blue. This is why I'm hard on Texas, because Texas is going to turn blue. Jasmine Crockett lit it up again today. Like she's tearing these Republicans apart.
Yeah. But she part of the campaign now, though. I think she
is,
has a national campaign or something.
She's tearing these Republicans apart down there in Texas. That's why Texas is going to turn blue. I'm telling you.
That's going to be a tough.
Because they are, and they seeing it. Like people,
I can give you Iowa, Texas now.
Texas is going to be blue. I'm telling you right now. I can feel it. That's how I know this is about to be the.
Maybe if you can get Hispanics out in Texas, maybe, but no. That's tough.
She gonna get Texas. No, she gonna get Texas. I'm telling you.
Check us out each and every. Matter of fact, tomorrow Friday, ain't it? Check us out tomorrow night. We'll be live. Me and my man, the number one soul brother. You know what I'm saying, dog? We're gonna get into these deep detailed dives. And there's a lot going on anyway, man. So check us out. Politics don't stop moving. So check us out each and every night that we come on Tuesday and Friday. But we might pop up like tonight with some shit going on. You know what I'm saying, dog? That happens.
Talking about politics coming from a view of the streets, you know what I'm saying, dog? We're not coming from professional view. We're not lawyers, none of that shit that's on TV, you know what I'm saying? We come straight from the hood. The hood view, you know? Representation of black people, period, on the bench.